Hey guys, it's Adrienne. So today I actually wanted to talk a little bit about Kiwi. I get a lot of questions about Kiwi. I'll be real honest, I actually had to take notes for this video. So I kind of put it together a list of some of the most common questions that I get about him. He may or may not join us in this video, I don't know. You want to come? You come over? It is your video. He's sitting over there. I think he's trying to take a nap right now. We've been up since 5 o'clock in the morning. So anyways, I put together a list of some of the most commonly asked questions about Kiwi. Kiwi is like my best friend. I know he's a bird, but you know, he's very bonded with me. We go and do everything together, and I do mean everything, other than if I have to leave the house, which I don't do very often, so he's very accustomed to me being here. I mean, this bird even follows me into the shower. It's raining outside again. I mean, I couldn't tell y'all how much I love this bird. He is just, he's totally awesome. He's my crochet buddy. You know, I know he's a pet, and I know some people will be like, oh, he's just a bird, but I live a very solitary life. You know, I don't leave the house very often, and Kiwi is my companion. He's my buddy. He's you know, he's really awesome. And so I thought it would be kind of cool to do kind of a Kiwi Q A. So the first question that I got, that I have written down, is what kind of bird is Kiwi? Kiwi is an Indian ringneck. Technically he's an Indian ringneck parakeet, or otherwise known as a rose-ringed parakeet. And he's considered a medium-sized parrot. His particular species of bird is actually native to parts of Africa and India. Well, the Indian subcontinent. Let's see, I have his, there's no way I can pronounce this, none whatsoever. His species name is, let's see, how can I cover this? I suppose it doesn't really matter. Anyways, so that right there is his species name, and I have no idea how you would pronounce it. But despite his, you know, him being called a parakeet, he is actually a species of parrot. And oh, like I said, they're native to Africa and the Indian subcontinent. The next question that I get a lot is, how old is Kiwi? Kiwi is 5 years old, and his hatch date is February 19th, 2017. And yes, I actually have a birth certificate / hatch certificate. So yeah, his birthday is February 19th, 2017. If you look on here, it actually says that his color is violet and green. And maybe when he was a baby, he was more of a violet green color, or I should say green violet, because he's predominantly green. But nowadays, the parts that would have been violet or purple are much bluer, much bluer. The third question I get a lot is, where did I get Kiwi? So I have kept birds in the past. I in the past have had 2 different cockatiels. One of them I had when my son was about 2 years old, and his wings were clipped. And I'm not a big advocate for clipping bird wings. I don't like it at all. But my son was about 2 years old, and this particular bird was extremely friendly. Let you do all kinds of things with him. And his name was Birdman. And that particular bird, I mean, like, I could take him outside. We'd go to my mom's work. You know, I could take him grocery shopping, and that's without a harness, without a leash. He would just ride around on my shoulder. Well, when my son was about 2 years old, he took Bird and threw him out the living room window. And I didn't find out about this for quite a while. It took me probably an hour or 2 to realize that I had not seen Birdman for a little while. And so by the time I found out what happened and what went on, and went out to look for him, he was gone. So after that, I had, like, that upset me a lot, and I didn't have a bird for a long time. And then probably, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago or so, I got a baby cockatiel from someone off of Craigslist. And to be honest, I think it was a backyard breeder, because the coloration on this bird should have made it extremely expensive. It was, I can't remember what they called it. Anyhow, he died like 2 or 3 days after I got him, and it didn't, I couldn't do anything about it. But when we first moved to LaGrange, you know, I don't have any friends in LaGrange. I don't know anybody in LaGrange. I don't leave the house very often. And probably about 6 months after moving to LaGrange, with my parents and my kids and my brother and my sister-in-law and everything, they started to notice that I was a little bit lonely. And so we were actually at a little bar that is down the road from us, and the bartender there, her name was Krista. We were talking about maybe if I got another bird to keep me company, and she overheard us, and she actually said that she had 2 Indian ringnecks that she was thinking about getting rid of. And of course we talked, and she thought it was really cool that I had some experience with birds. I hadn't had any with any Indian ringnecks, but so I got Kiwi and another bird from her, and of course Kiwi's a male, and the other bird, it was also an Indian ringneck, and he was a male too. Now, I don't think, his name was Bogey, by the way. I don't think Kiwi and Bogey had a lot of human interaction when I got them. They were about well, I've had Kiwi for 3 years, so they were maybe 2 years old when I got them. But once I had Kiwi and Bogey, Kiwi started getting really, really attached to me, and I actually had to rehome Bogey because Kiwi started attacking Bogey. He wouldn't let Bogey get anywhere near me, and it wasn't that Bogey... Bogey wanted my attention, but Kiwi's just... he wasn't allowing it. And what it was is... Kiwi was quickly bonding with me, and he just wasn't having it. And so to keep them from hurting each other, or, you know, I actually had Kiwi, or had Bogey rehomed. But originally, Kiwi and Bogey were both bred by a place called JC Aviary, which is in Austin, Texas. Now, I don't know if that is where Krista got them. I'm pretty sure it is. I want to say that she had said that she bought them directly from the breeder. But, you know, and then I've got all the paperwork and stuff for Kiwi, and as far as I know, I'm only his second owner, and he's not ever going nowhere. So that's where I got Kiwi. You don't have to shake them right now. But if they bite too hard, just kind of shake your hand. Oh, are you going to come see me, Bogey?
Oh my God.
Well, hello. Would you like a treat? The next question that I get all the time, is, does Kiwi talk? Yes, Kiwi can talk. He doesn't do it very often. I've had him for 3 years, and I have never been able to get it on camera. As soon as he sees a camera or a phone pointed at him when he's talking, he shuts up. He just cuts it right off. But he can say, Kiwi, what are you doing? He can say, yeah. He also mimics laughter really well, which is actually something that he learned after I got him. Before I got him, as far as I know, the only things that he could say was Kiwi and Bogey. Now, since I've had him, he like I said, he's learned how to say, what are you doing? He's learned how to say, yeah. And he mimics laughter, but he doesn't seem to know how to say Bogey anymore. And I don't know if that's just the absence of Bogey, or if it's because he doesn't hear that word a lot anymore. Now, his particular species of bird, being that it's a medium-sized parrot, are actually pretty well known for having high talk abilities. Like they usually can learn to talk and say lots of things. But for whatever reason, Kiwi, I don't know if he's just not interested, or I really don't know. He's not real big into talking. Now, he whistles a lot. and he coos, and he's got several different whistles that he does. As far as a bird goes, he is very quiet. He does not really scream or anything like that, unless I leave the bedroom for long periods of time and he doesn't come with me, or I leave the house because he can't follow me. And then, or if he feels threatened, like he will scream this blood-curdling scream if anybody that he's not familiar with comes into our bedroom. So yeah, I mean, as far as birds go, he's actually pretty quiet because nobody usually comes in my bedroom. You know, it's usually just me and him for the most part. I mean, my kids are really the only other ones that he has a lot of interaction with. And while he won't let them touch him, he doesn't scream at them either. So, I mean, there's always that. So the next question I get pretty frequently is, how much did Kiwi cost? So the thing about that is I didn't pay, I didn't get him from a breeder. So I actually only paid $300 for Kiwi and Bogey together. When I sold Bogey, well, I sold him, I can't even really say that was selling him. It was because, I don't know what you'd call it. I call it rehoming. Because to me, when it comes to birds, there should be some form of a fee. Because if the person is willing to pay that fee, then they are more likely to commit to that bird and take better care of it. Now, a person that gets a bird for free, I don't think is going to be as committed or will take as good a care. And maybe that's just me being judgmental. But birds require a huge commitment. And so for me, I sold a rehomed Bogey for $300, which was the same amount that I paid for 2 birds. However, Bogey was a solid white Indian ringneck with a very small amount of blue on his tail and some gray under his wings, and I can't remember the name of that color. There's a particular, I can't remember like the technical term for that color, but I could have sold him for as much as $1,400. And you know, prices on all birds kind of depend on the coloring. Whether or not it's a hybrid species. It's kind of like buying a dog. You know, if you buy a certain breed of dog and he's a certain color, you're going to pay extra. If he's purebred, you're going to pay extra. You know, things like that. Another question that I've gotten, not so much before I had a YouTube channel, but I have been asked a few times, why is Kiwi always chewing up your clothes? And there's a really simple answer to that. It's because he's a bird. Birds, they like to chew on things, they like to destroy things. That's what birds do. And if he gets a chance, he does it to my clothes. You know, a lot of birds will chew up like phone chargers and TV cords and things like that. Thankfully, I don't have that problem with Kiwi. My biggest problem with Kiwi, the only really bad habit he has, is chewing my clothes. Which, probably if I left the house, I'm sorry, I'm having really bad allergies today. Probably if I left the house more, it would be kind of an expensive bad habit, because I would always be like replacing clothes and things like that. But because I'm around the house, it really doesn't bother me that, you know, there's a lot of times holes in my clothes and things like that. Now, it's not necessarily good for him, which is probably the biggest reason that I'm constantly telling him stop chewing, because birds, when they chew on like fibrous things, cotton, any kind of fabrics, they can actually, like, if you watch Kiwi sometimes in my videos, you'll see, sorry, you'll see that, he chews bits off and throws them on the floor. Well, sometimes they can actually end up ingesting those fibers, and what happens is it gets compacted in their stomachs and intestines, and it can actually kill a bird. Now, vets can do surgery for that kind of thing, but like anything, it's just best if it's prevented. So the next question I get is, where can I get a bird like Kiwi? You can get an Indian ringneck. You'll have to do some research, but you can get an Indian ringneck through a local breeder or a rescue shelter for birds. Actually, the rescue that I mentioned in my other video, I think last week, Wings of Love Bird Haven, I believe they have a female Indian ringneck right now. I think I want to say her name is Rio. Or you can look at an online marketplace. However, I really, really, really stress that if you want one of these birds, to do your research. And hold on one second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. My phone can only hold, I think it's like 25 minutes or so worth of video before it starts freaking out about storage. So I just had to run and download that first half of the video, and then I had to go delete video footage so that I can fit more on here. But anyways, as I was saying, if you're really interested in getting an Indian ringneck, I cannot stress to you how important it is to do your research. Each bird species is a little bit different. Indian ringnecks have a reputation for being, I don't want to say ornery, but they have a reputation for being they're not considered very friendly. Now, Indian ringnecks go through this a lot of mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes that people do is they see an Indian ringneck and they think, oh pretty, blah blah blah, and then they go out and they get a baby without doing research. And the thing about that is Indian ringnecks go through a stage called the bluffing stage, and it takes place about, they'll be probably a year to, anywhere between a year and 2 years old. They will go through this very hormonal stage called a bluffing stage, and it's kind of like the bird going through the teenage years. The birds are very hormonal. They can be aggressive. They, you know, and they'll go from this nice, cute, sweet little baby bird to, you know, ornery, easily agitated, and so people don't understand why is their bird all of a sudden more aggressive than what it used to be. And then these birds end up getting sold and, you know, put in shelters, you know, and it's never, that's never a good thing. So I highly suggest, if you really want one of these birds, do a lot of research, because they're a lot of work. They are a big commitment, you know, and it's amazing to me because birds as a whole are the third animal down the list of pets. Like, they're the third most commonly kept pets is birds. Yet most people seem so uneducated when it comes to birds, how to care for them, how to, you know, everything in general. And I just base that off of my own personal experience. Most people know nothing at all about birds. So, I mean, also, if you decide to get one and you choose to go through, well, if you just, in general, if you decide to get one, research the breeder. Find out if this is a person or whatever that is a backyard breeder. Because, you know, birds can get sick. Birds can have viruses. And your animals, you know, they just like with purebred dogs, there is a such thing as backyard breeders for birds, especially because birds, you can pick a male and a female up and sell all those babies for thousands of dollars. When I first got Kiwi, my brother loved him to death, but he's very materialistic, and he was like, yo, you should get a female and you should breed them and we can sell the babies, because babies go for, even just one just like Kiwi, the same color as Kiwi, go for $800, $900, depending on where you are and who the breeder is. And then birds that have the mutations that are other colors, because Kiwi is a natural color. That's what they look like in the wild. They're just green. But some of them, I mean, they come in all different colors. I mean, there's a yellow one named Twinkie. I don't know if she has a YouTube channel. Actually, Twinkie might be a male. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. And then there's another Indian ringneck. Somebody's got a YouTube channel, and that one is a female, and I believe a female, and that one is blue. Mutations like that cost more, and to get those mutations, you have to play with genetics. And if your animal is overly, I guess, I don't want to say inbred, but I mean, it's like I said, it's kind of like dogs. If you know, if you match the parents up right, you're gonna start getting certain characteristics, but at some point those characteristics cause medical problems, and then you're spending, you know, $800 to several thousands of dollars on a bird that's not gonna live for very long. It's bad for you, it's bad for the animal. I really do your research. Do your research on any bird that you're interested in. Now Kiwi he's not what they would call a cuddly bird, but he's not aggressive. He does not follow that typical Indian ringnecks are not friendly type of reputation. He doesn't fall under that category, at least not with me. Now, he does not tolerate other people very well. Like I said, he tolerates my kids. and he tolerates my mom, but outside of that, he's not friendly with other people. He won't let other people touch, he won't even take food from other people outside of my kids, myself, and my mom. And he won't let anybody handle him except for me. He is not trying to be touched with hands or fingers. He doesn't like hands or fingers at all. And he will bite if you stick your fingers or your hands in his face. I mean, he doesn't do it to me, but he does other people. One of my brothers, he got himself tore up pretty badly because he was messing with Kiwi, and Kiwi was not having it. So, I mean, Kiwi's actually really sweet, at least, like I said, to me. He does have a little bit of aggression towards other birds, obviously. That's why I had to rehome Bogey. But I also keep Kiwi lives in kind of an unorthodox way, you know. I don't have a cage for him. He doesn't live in a cage. He has a perch, you know, back there in our bedroom, and he does what he wants in this bedroom. I don't force him to do anything. I don't. He's allowed to kind of just do his thing. And I mean, he's happy that way, and I'm happy that way, you know. I just, I've lost my train of thought. Basically, the point is please do your research. I'm sorry, guys. I'm having some issues with some seizures today because I ran out of medication, and so I've been without my medication for a couple of days. So I am having a little bit of seizure activity. That's why I keep losing my train of thought. And often, and often that is why you guys hear me say so much. If I've said in my video, it's probably because I've just had a seizure and I can't remember what I'm talking about, so I say and then take that split second to try to remember what it is that I was talking about. But anyways, that's beside the point. It's totally off track. So the last question that I get like a lot is, what does Kiwi eat? And you know, different species of birds need different types of diets. Kiwi is on a pellet-based diet, and then he gets fresh fruits and veggies every day. In particular, he likes broccoli. He could put down some broccoli. He really likes broccoli. But he eats grapes. He eats tomatoes. He eats, let's see. He does get nuts as treats. He gets walnuts and pistachios as treats. And right now, I'm actually still, I'm in the middle of transitioning him from almost a, I mean, there were seeds and stuff in there, and corn and a few pellets, but I'm actually transitioning him right now from a predominantly seed-based diet to a more pellet-based diet, just because it's healthier. You know, the seeds and the nuts, they can be kind of fattening, and while Kiwi does get more exercise than most birds that are kept as pets, I still would rather him be on the pellet-based diet. A lot of birds end up dying because of fatty liver disease, because they are stuck in a cage and they're fed mostly seeds and peanuts and things like that. Kiwi doesn't live in a cage. He flies around the bedroom. He has a balcony that stretches the entire length of the house that he can go outside and fly around in and get some sun. You know, it's screened in, so he's safe or whatever. So he does get a lot of exercise compared to most pet birds. But, you know, I am still trying to transition him. Some of the other things that he eats, did I say watermelon? He really likes watermelon. Blueberries. Corn. He likes corn. Now, let's see. Occasionally, like, I drink a lot of caffeinated drinks. Ugh. I'm sorry. We are all of a sudden having, like, crazy rain here, and I guess it's messing with my allergies. I'm not sure. I just know I don't usually have allergies, but I'm having them really bad today. But occasionally, I have to chase Kiwi away from my coffee or my soda because I drink a lot of coffee and a lot of Coca-Cola. And he seems to think that if I'm eating it or drinking it, then he's entitled to some. And that's a really bad habit. It's just a really bad habit, and I've been working with him for a long while now to try to break him of that. But actually, you know, there's actually times that I will get a plate of food or whatever, and I'll eat downstairs rather than come up here to eat because I know he's gonna try to take it. But anyways, that is all I have for Kiwi's Q A. I know this has kind of turned out to be like a much longer video than I thought it would be. But, you know, that bird is my best friend, and he did not bother to join us. And actually, I didn't realize I could talk about Kiwi that much. And I'm sure if I really sat down and thought about it, I could probably talk about him some more. He's so awesome. He is just the cutest, sweetest thing in the world as far as I'm concerned. And he is a show stealer. How can you be a show stealer when you don't even talk? I mean, it's insane. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video and you found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. It would be awesome if you guys shared it. If you are looking for any information on birds in general or Indian ringnecks, I will put some links down below in the description box. I will also put, you know, cards or whatever YouTube calls them for some YouTube channels that I follow that are really good for information on birds. And then if you guys have any questions about Kiwi or about Indian ringnecks or anything, if you guys have any questions, drop them down below in the comment section and maybe I'll do a part 2. I'll start keeping a list of questions or things that people would like to know about Kiwi or about anything. I mean, anything involving Kiwi. I'll just start keeping a list, and then periodically I'll do a part 2 or, you know, whatever. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys today. Yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching.